Good morning, my friends. I am very much thankful to all of you. You are giving your valuable time to hear and participate with my discussion. Today, I shall discuss means we shall interchange our views and opinion on the subject, the objective of geotechnical engineering. Before discussing the objective of geotechnical engineering, let us discuss about geotechnical engineering first. Geotechnical engineering basically is a compound engineering science. It is not mechanical mixture, it is compound mixture of engineering science starting from soil to intuitional judgment. In most of the books, quotes, they recommend mostly that this shall be limited to this much. Say safety factor should be 2.5, settlement shall be 40 mm or 50 mm, whatever it may be, but finally rest on decision of designer. That means the professional expert have to take decision on every and all output. Let us say another thing. Say if we are visiting a doctor, that is physician, to discuss about our health, he asks some questions. What do you feel? Where is your pain? What do you take in breakfast? What normally take, non-veg or veg? There's lot of questions. So that he can summarize his conception on our illness. If we visit a legal professional expert, he will ask lot of questions. Why so happened? Why it was happened? Lot of questions. Where? When? Lot of questions. All the questions we have to explain him. Then only he fix up his mindset to defend us or to save us or to fight for our rights. So geotechnical engineering also a professional subject. Entirely it is professional. So we must know the basic concept of geotechnical engineering. You see, geotechnical engineering and our body, our life. our life, a person, a man, is man may be a of some, son of two. The same man sometime may be a father, may be brother, but the man is same. Maybe a student of some others, maybe a teacher of some others, but the person is same. But the same man, he has a different role. As son is completely different role. As a teacher, he has complete different role. As father, he has complete different role. As husband, complete different role. But the man is same person. Such a way, like where the geotechnical engineering also has some different matters, dealing with some different matters. Normally, in our normal conception, the geotechnical engineering is to design of the foundation. It is not only the design of a foundation, but also entire construction period. Geotechnical engineer is responsible even up to the 100% perfect loading, and you are all sure that 100% total loading never will happen to any structure during its lifetime. Because say when earthquake will be coming, then life load charge may be less. When wind load is coming to the structure, other load is may be less. So except dead load, combination of 100% total load is never been possible to a structure, any structure during its lifetime. Most of the people says, and this geotechnical engineering is a complex subject. Complex is different. We are making it complex because till now we are not capable to translate the language of the soil. If we can translate the language of the soil, it is very simple. We do not want many things from the soil. We want very few things, very nominal. In our degree course, or I am not going to say about PG and PhD. In degree course itself, lot of things our course is aimed to make us all expert about this geotechnical engineering. But all this we do not need. We need simple forecast. And that simple forecast, it should be derived from our simple imagination, interpretation of basic nature and behavior of the soil and foundation reaction system. Till now, we are not secure whether the soil is behaving at the will of foundation or foundation is behaving as per direction of the soil. Till now we are no ways confirm, because you say for a circular well foundation our soil behavior is quite different, and the same soil, if we go for pile foundation, it will be same soil, just foundation system is different, is a pile foundation, so the total behavior will be quite different. Sometimes we see the size of foundation increases, the soil pressure increases. Sometimes size of foundation is increases, soil pressure is decreasing. This type of lot of differences there, and all this difference, whether the foundation is responsible for this soil behavior or soil is responsible that foundation assessment properties. A construction project is a combination of different stages of activities. One is selection of foundation system based on safety, economy, trouble-free execution, resources availability, time factors. All these are necessary. In normally we thought that we shall if we find out the say soil parameters like SBC, because the foundation shall be designed on the soil having adequate SBC, safe bearing capacity, that is allowable bearing capacity. There are two factors. One is safe bearing capacity, that means it shall be safe for shear failure criteria, and allowable bearing capacity, which shall be safe bearing capacity against shear failure criteria, and expected settlement shall be within the permissible limit. And we have to, at the same time, we should go for a foundation system analysis. For this foundation system analysis, there is no foolproof method. Although in earlier days there is a conception of if it is 30 to 30% foundation area is 30 to 33% of the total building area, then isolated foundation is safe. It is safe if it is around 50%, then raft or strip foundation is suitable. Or for soft soil or loose soil up to a reasonable depth, in such cases we have to go for deep foundation. Deep foundation means caisson foundation, well foundation, pile foundation, etc. Sometimes what happen, deep foundation or shallow foundation of any type, either isolated or combined or raft or strip foundation, may not alone be sufficient for the proposed structure. In such cases, we may have to go for composite foundation, say raft plus pile foundation. One composition is raft plus pile foundation. Another composition is well plus bolting, and alternative foundations are like ground improvement. For normally we are using deep foundation for very soft soil up to a reasonable depth. In such cases, we generally prefer to go for pile foundation or any other deep foundation. In such cases, we shall go for ground improvement also. Ground improvement is the best suitable economic alternative of pile foundation or well foundation. Nowadays, well foundation for the economic aspect considered not efficient, because piles are for the same amount of loading, piles are more efficient. Pile has some other benefit also. We can calculate the tension load separately, and we can calculate the horizontal load separately, and we can go for vertical compression load also. But in raft or strip foundation, the tension load and the horizontal load also be considered on the basis of the foundation size itself, that is QA plus minus m by z. With that equation, we have to overcome the tension and horizontal forces. Another aspect, geotechnical profession should always consider that client as fools. Fools means because he has less knowledge regarding on this field, so he is coming to you, take some advice. I feel it is the duty of the geotechnical profession to study the case which is taken to him with all facts and figures, and thereafter only he should go for mental preparation for what type of investigation he shall be going for, how many numbers, because in courts there are a lot of provisions are there, we cannot ignore, and we cannot cover all the things. Say depth of boring, it should be more than the 10% stress line below the foundation. Let us consider our base of foundation may be a 10 meter and depth of foundation be 2 meter. So our minimum stress line will be 1.5 into 10, that is 15 plus 2, that is 17 meter. That means we have to go another 30%, another 33% extra, one third. So say about 20 meters or 25 meter will be sufficient for providing a 10 meter with a foundation. But in some cases, what happens? The soils are progressively not relatively not stiff or not depth, because soil has a tendency of increasing its strength with depth. If we see, we are getting, say, fill and value, we are getting from 1 meter to 20 meter as 5 and value 5, we cannot provide the foundation because this existing overburden cannot consolidate the strata. Soil has a tendency to be compaction under weight, which we call consolidation. So, if from 1 meter to 20 meter, same state, 5 and value is 5, we cannot say that the soil has a tendency. Soil has, in such senses, the soil mass has no tendency of increasing with depth. In such cases, we must go further below so that our structure shall be safe. We must know one thing: whom we are giving service. Why? What service we are giving? Where? When? All these questions we must answer in our mind before planning itself. Because you see, we should not feel that if we construct a building for 100 years, that means there are 3 people of 3 generations there may live in a one building at a time. Say if it is one building, say 5-6 story building, at a time 50 people can reside. In 3 generations, their total population, how much? 3 generations is 150 into 350. We have to think for the life of 350 people. It may so happen sometime my grandson may be reside there. Your grandson may be reside there. We do not know. We are moving around, whole world is moving around. What is today's, that may not be tomorrow's mine. It may be to others. One gentleman, he asked me a question. The house is your own house or rented house? I simply replied, I am living in this house is rented house, but rent directly I do not have to pay rent. Only just electricity power bill and water supply bill and this corporation taxes I have to pay. In case of minor repairing, I have to look after, and rest. Uh, it is on rented house. He then asked me who was the owner. Till now I do not know who is the owner. But since long back I am staying here, till now I am not ever seen him. Whether the gentleman understand my word or not, I do not know. He may be understand or he may not be. You see, today I am living here. After me, somebody will come here and it will be his property. After him, another person will be coming. It will be him. I do not know their name even. I personally, I do not see them. I personally do not know their names. So I am not telling lie. It is fact. Today I am here. I know myself. After me, who will coming? I do not know his name and I never see his face. So we have to think for at least for 3 people of 3 generations that may be our own nearer and dearer. So all probable problems should be studied first. No one should wait for problems to arise. Normally, some concept is there, they wait, time will solve all the problem. That is philosophical language. Wait till problem arises, time will tackle all the problems. But in geotechnical engineering, all problems should be tackled beforehand. A small problem during execution may lead to expensive wastage of money and time. Few examples I want to give you. About 1995 or early 2000, there are enough railway 150 meters microwave tower foundation were constructed for 150 meter height microwave tower. And few foundations are located at at the north bank of Brahmaputra, which is alluvial deposit, and subsoil water level was very close to ground level. I had suggested them that they provide raft foundation because soil is quite dense. Raft foundation at a 1.5 meter, there shall not be any problem. But they do not listen to me. They have constructed for moment, that is bending load, depth of foundation is coming about 7 meter, and their water level is at 2 meter. So they cannot excavate beyond 2 meter. The size of foundation was not very big. It is about 8 meter by 8 meter. Small foundation size, but they cannot construct. More or less that size became almost 15 meter by 15 meter. Moreover, that foundation cannot be constructed. Today they have able to excavate it 2 meter. Next day morning it will be filled up to 2 meter. All sides are collapsed, soils are coming up from the below, from the bottom. So finally they have made expenditure for lowering down the subsoil water level by pumping out using 250 horsepower, total 250 horsepower pump set total, and making some horizontal, making some vertical well point and pumping out water thereafter, which cost is almost, it is about more than double the foundation cost. And you see, I have suggested to provide foundation at 1.5 meter, and in my recommendation what will be the other problems I had pointed out. And when the problem arises, then they are coming to me. I told I cannot do anything right the moment, because there is I initially if I was informed that under any circumstances we shall be going to 7 meter excavation. In such cases I can go for alternative suggestion, but they didn't listen my advice and they have started excavation. Another problem is abutment foundation on boulder bed at Arunachal Pradesh. When a major river, Arunachal rivers are during dry season, dry and lean season, say from October to February. Man can walk over the river. Hardly there will be water of 1 feet, that is 30 centimeter, 40 centimeter water is there. Somewhere it is less than that. In some channels, there is no water at all. Completely dry like a football ground. But during rainy season, no one can imagine the water running sound. Oh, like big sound. The water flowing sound is so big, one very amazing, very surprising. And in that foundation, they have constructed the abutment on a boulder bed. On the boulder bed, and I was when I had been reported the case, then abutment soil of about 50% of foundation soil was already slide away. But the abutments slide away, because during excavation they had excavated, but after construction of the foundation, water percolated from the side of the foundations and going below, percolated water going below, and finds sand and small pre-gravels, these were washed away, and boulder started roll down. If one boulder is rolled down, that means adjacent boulder will be rolling down. So by this way, more than 50% of the foundation soil of the abutment, both abutment foundation, washed away. This is slide it to the river. Fortunately, unfortunately, the super slab, so the superstructure, the bridge slab, that was not completed. So just the foundations are there. Then later on, to avoid further damage of the foundation, huge area at both banks, huge area was transformed to artificial rock. Artificial rock means we are placing some man-sized boulder both upstream and downstream of the abutment, and abutment foundation also huge area, and we putting some grout pipe inside, steel grout pipes, and some reinforcement also, both horizontal and vertical reinforcement we are providing for monolithic behaviors, and grouted the boulder mass to transform to artificial rock bed. We finally, at a huge expenditure, we have to restore that to foundation. Another situation I want to say, soil boiling of some tower foundations at Brahmaputra Valley. This normally Brahmaputra Valley soil is alluvial, floodplain deposit, fine grained sand with little or no silt. There is no binder at all. A little amount of silt is there, basically fine grained sand, and after some amount of some depth, sand going to finer to fine to medium, and medium to coarse, according to some depth. Normally up to a reasonable depth, say about 10-15 meter, the fine grained sand with silt. And what happened? During investigation, the water level was recorded at a depth of 1.1 meter to 1.5 meter, and dry season, and the site is in monsoon season, site is under water conditions, under submerged condition. They did not think the situation, the complete foundation work could be completed in dry season only. So during excavation, what happened? After getting the water table, subsoil water level, soil has started boiling, and some amount of side collapse, and ultimately this was completely a formation of dynamic state, that quicksand. The soil has no shear strength at all. Shear strength is 0. So in such cases they cannot go for foundation. It was, for me, it was the mistake of the geotechnical professional. He cannot foresee the time effect of construction. During construction period, what shall be the actual condition of the site, he cannot. He was not able to foresee that situation. Another problem in many sites, many work sites, I saw another problem, that was oversaturation of soil during mechanical excavation below water, not below water level, it is just at water level. In Dharapur area, there was a 21-story building construction was there. That was partially, it is a composite foundation pile come raft, composite foundation. So nowadays manual excavation is totally avoided. It is eliminated, not avoided, eliminated, because time requirement is too much, so definitely costly. So to minimize the time effect and minimize the cost, mechanical excavation was generally preferred. During mechanical excavation, what happened? In the excavator there are some bigger size chisel which was fixed with the bucket, and this is length of this is size is about 2 to 3 inches, and length of the chisel is about 6 inches. So this 6 inch, this chisel penetrate, and during excavation this 6 inch material is not coming out. Just what is in the bucket, that is coming out. So the rest excavated material is lying at bottom, and naturally what happened after final completion, there is no time to clean all those things, and it became due to the purged water. It is in Delhi or other states, Delhi, Bombay and other states, subsoil purged water level is quite below, but in our northeastern region purged water level is very high. It is hardly about 2 meter, maximum 2 meter. It will be, before that we are getting the purged water level. For this purged water saturated the soft soil lying at the bed, which are excavated spoils, and since we do not remove all these things before PCC or some other purposes, then it became a saturated soil whose strength is very low. This we must consider. After excavation, what shall we do? I do suggest always after mechanical excavation, at least minimum 15 centimeter to 20 centimeter, that is 150 mm to 200 mm, crusher stones shall be put in at the bottom and compacted, so that this water shall this crusher stones shall absorb the excess amount, and compacted it can behave like a mud concrete. I personally feel my friends should give proper importance like excavation, catwall slides, oversaturation, soil boiling, etc. And it should be foresighted. Just yes, yes, at the time of your payment, they will not pay for these problems. They will be pay for your design parameters only. What is your SBC, what shall be your pile load, what shall be your raft. This only he will be pay for that only, but not for this. But it should also be foresighted, and that should be clearly mentioned in your report. Another question is foundation system. Foundation system and responsibility of the geotechnical professional. Foundation system. Foundation system. In one question, there is a foundation system for which soil type of soil foundation system is. This should be foundation system. There is no such hardened rule, and we should not abide by anything. Our foundation system should be in such a way, it should be economic, safe, and easily construction can be taken up with resources locally available and skilled and unskilled workmen locally available. I am not going to say about the ready-made mixtures. Ready-made concrete nowadays, most of the developed cities are available ready-made mixtures with pump set also, but in every places or for a small quantity of ready-made mixtures is not available. So we have to consider all those things. What will be our economic, what will be our safety, what shall be our construction material, whether local human resources are available or not. If considering everything, we may select our foundation system. Normally, up to 33% of total built-up area, if our foundation size is coming up to 33% of built-up area, you may ask question, why not 50% or why not 100%? You see, say about for 2 meter excavation, we have to go for, in some cases is sandy soil, we have to extra excavation will be 1:2 angle. That means 3 meter for 6 meter this side, 6 meter other side. So it will be not possible. So 33 meter we can easily go for isolated foundation, that is individual foundation. If our built up area is less than 75%, then we can go for raft or strip. all other cases we should go for alternative solution like pile foundation, ground improvement. In case of ground improvement, you say ground improvement cement grouting is the best and scientific and effective, efficient alternative. But cement grouting is slightly costly, and for that grouting, for cement grouting, numbers of packers will be required, and those agency everywhere is not available. In Guwahati, one party is there. They are doing cement grouting all over the northeast India, and they are having 4-5 works in their hand, so they cannot give you time. In developed metros like Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, in this area, one can go for that practice. In groundwater lowering, in case of groundwater lowering, in that also it will be very difficult and costly proposition, time consuming, and good efficient agencies are not available everywhere. These are the major hurdle. So we have to think alternative. Lot of alternatives are there. We can refill the back. We can remove the bad material with some good materials. We can go for stone for column, stone drain. You can go for short non-bearing pile foundation. Say short non-bearing pile foundation means, say our soil formation say at 9 meter below, there is a good soil. Say good bearing stratum is there, but up to 9 meter the soil is poor. We cannot provide load more than 10 ton. 10 ton nowadays, no building can be constructed with 10 ton. For 10 ton, it is hardly G+2 building will be coming 10 ton. So in such cases, we can go for some non-bearing piles. Non-bearing piles means we cannot go for load-bearing piles. Load-bearing piles, what happen? Then load will be resisted by the tension load shall be resisted by the pile uplift pressure. Since more than 9 meter is soft and having very low shear strength, the uplift pressure will be too low, so numbers of pile will be required. And in the same condition, in that condition, if we balance our uplift load by the soil charge itself using isolated foundation for settlement only, if we non-load bearing piles 4-5 just to provide the uplift compression load only, that we can go for that. I have constructed this type of building also. The responsibility of the geotechnical profession, the responsibility in logically I can raise my hand in all direction. It is my freedom. I have freedom to raise my hand in all directions. But my freedom vanishes when my hand touches somebody's nose. आप हैंड चारों दिशाओं में घुमा सकता है, बट इफ हैंड किसी का किसी का नोज में लग गया तब freedom vanishes. Geotechnical, in this responsibility of the geotechnical professionals, like that, you are completely free, but you are wholly responsible till full and final loading condition attained, which is not ever happen in the lifetime of a building. So long this building is there, you are responsible. So long you are there, you are responsible. Or next gentleman will be coming in your company or in your agency, he will be responsible. So responsibility, you cannot go out of the responsibility. Responsibility with you like your smile. Your smile will be finished when you will be no more. So your responsibility will be vanished after full and final loading condition attainment, which never happen during the lifetime of a building. Building life is much more. Our life is around, Indian life is around 70, but the building life is 100 years. So that is the condition. I am giving few photographs. You see, these are hard soil. In this foundation trance, this is a very hard soil. It is excavation pit was 7 meter by 8 meter, like that. It was very hard soil and excavated up to 3 meter. But during excavation period, this piped water mixed with the bottom excavated material. With this, in this there are 6 spikes. 6 spikes, chisel, 6 chisel of 2 inch by 6 inch. So this 6 inch is penetrated during pressure, and when it take out, this 6 inch material remain there. Only the bucket, up to the bucket only, this will be coming, rest will be remain there, and gradually they will be going down, and finally it will be deposited, and finally it when mixed with this purged water. These are all purged water, these are not groundwater. Purged water. Purged water means there will be some amount of water in soil. There are 3 components. 50% is solid, 25% is air, and 25% is water. And out of that all water and solid, there are total 5% is organic material. All inorganic shall contain some amount of organic soil, organic compound, such as chloride, phosphate, sulfate, iron, many chemicals. Such type of organic materials are there. So this cut soil, the remaining excavated material mixed with this piped water level, those waters are here, and after cutting after cutting, soil will be going out from the stratum, so that will be deposited at the bottom, and it make the oversaturation. For that reason, I suggested you, please go for at least 150 millimeter or 200 millimeter layer of provide one layer of compacted crushed stone layer. This crushed stone layer shall absorb the uh, water from this soil. Excess water shall be absorbed, and soil will become compacted during ramming of this cushion. This subgrade, you can say it subgrade or cushion or whatever it may be, then you can construct it. And this cushion shell, when it will be penetrate inside the soil, it will behave like a mud concrete. So it is my earnest request to all of you. Here you see this excavation. Today let us see, today 1 meter has been excavated. Next day morning it will be filled up to this water level point. It will be coming up. Next day again they will be, next day will be again filling up. So in such cases we should not think directly one option only. We have to think for other options. This will be problem how we can tackle it. What will be difference if we go for other options? We have to study that option. This you see, this is one excavated pit. One is excavated pit. You see, it is the hydrostatic pressure. It is soil boiling. This is the soil boiling. It is hydrostatic pressure. So in this condition, we have to think what to be resultant during execution, during construction, what problem may arise. We should find out the problems. We should anticipate the problems. Like we have calculated this SBC settlement. Accordingly, we have to calculate from these also. For this reason, a geotechnical engineering will only be complete science when we go for a megascopical, not in nano, megascopical data collection of local geology, local geomorphology, local geography, and local site condition, weather condition, monsoon area, monsoon behaviors, all these condition and history of nearby constructions. Say there was one building, existing building is there. It was constructed during 10 years back. At least some information we can go. Some information means this type of problems, what problems may be there, at least we can get some amount of information from this. And how they tackle that problem. I am getting one good information long about 20 years back. I was required to excavate about 3 meter near to the wall, boundary wall, and my depth of excavation is sufficiently high. It is basement plus raft. So it was around 3.5 meter excavation is there. So how I can excavate after going, if it is close to the wall maybe collapse, and all the boundary wall was jointly provided by my client and the opposite opposite person, his neighbor, both jointly has constructed. So it will be his asset also. I cannot damage it. So when I was thinking, then this gentleman, one gentleman who was ordinary labor, I asked him that when I will excavate, the wall will be collapsed. How to take it? How to keep as it is? How to tackle? He didn't advise me. A lot of rods are lying there, 20 mm, 25 mm, 16 mm, like that. Lot of rods are lying on those they are taking for the construction for the base raft. You make some short piece, say 5 meter, 6 meter piece, and 3 row, make 3 row, drive 50 centimeter apart in 3 row, just about 2 meter away from the wall. Well, then what happened? No, you will be cutting, you will be starting excavation, and you say cement bag, you keep some sand, make some sand bag. Sand bag means in cement bag, put some sand and stitch it and keep it in layers. 2 layers you keep it. You will be excavating, it will be going down automatically. Just you put it top, it will be going down automatically. I tell my client to engage him to supervise the work. That gentleman, that labor, to supervise the work, he will guide them, you engage them. He engaged. And he is still working with that builder also. Finally, I see that his advice is working. Sandbags are going on. Excavated material comes out, and sandbags are going below. So finally the work has successfully been completed. So we must know what shall be the problem in coming days. To tackle the problems is our intuitional judgment. And what will be problems, that will be our intuition, and how to tackle it will be our judgment. I hope this may surely be helpful in your coming days. Please be happy. Please all be healthy. Please all be blissful and contented. I am always available at jcgogoi@gmail.com. Have a nice day, please. I love you all.